How would you define successful student collaboration at TAM in your content area and in other places around the school?
Well, I think it starts with allyship
Hmm.
and relationship as, the definitions of community.
Mm-hmm.
I also really believe in time. Our students are highly scheduled,
Mm-hmm.
and time and deadlines so often define things for them. So just this first grading period, R1, it poses a really interesting question to a teacher. Do you have enough information to make conclusions about grades?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, everybody starts with an A, and it's a journey and my job to figure out how to keep students there.
Right.
So I guess what I'm saying is that all the elements of a healthy community are sort of allyship, participation,
Mm-hmm.
understanding, knowing each other, and time is an element in that. You can't force that. You have to give this opening window of the school year time for people to come together. So I make sure there are activities and time carved out to really get to know each other.
Yeah. I can see where in CTE program and in drama, it makes sense. Everything has to be collaborative because it takes all the different pieces to make a show come to life.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm curious because you also work within the English department and you have experience as an instructional coach. And so some disciplines that need for each person's unique voice and part is less obvious. So where do you see it showing up in places beyond drama?
Well, and parents might not be so familiar with this term, but in education, we use this idea of formative,
Mm-hmm.
which are assignments or activities where students will explore the subject matter or be introduced to it. Sort of like beginning, middle, and end. In the beginning, they have to have formative experiences. So in English, I'm really, everybody has an elbow partner
Mm-hmm.
at the table that they choose. Other days, I will choose partners for them and really think about who I want them to work with.
Yeah.
But we're doing a formative in-class project right now where table groups are designing games
Oh, cool.
with a beginning and a middle and an end
Okay.
and a central conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you going to score? And is there a winner or not? How does everybody participate all the time? And I'm giving them 4 apples, an orange traffic cone, 2 brooms, a bucket, and a milk crate.
Oh, wow.
And those elements have to be used in the game. So, it's early in the first semester. I want them working together.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see them in action in English class because then I get to know them. I understand their strengths more. I understand their challenges more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super complex.
Yeah.
It's super creative. There's a recipe and they're going to document it and reflect on it. And they're going to teach each other how to play the game
Mm-hmm.
and play each other's games. And so it's the story of the game.
Yeah.
So that'll be like 2 block periods and a little bit of homework,
Mm-hmm.
but they're really fired up about it. And I'm starting to understand their capacities, their storytelling, their sense of humor, their insights. So long story short, you have to have, in every subject matter,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have really fun exploration
Yeah.
that reveals students' capacities and their appetite, and then where you can stretch and direct and instruct.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so important for how you think about forming collaborative groups throughout the year. So
Yeah.
this time is so important.
I
Really cool.
I said to my drama class this morning, I said, everybody, when you get those group projects from a teacher and you're like, oh, group projects, but I reminded them in sports, in martial arts, in dance class, in drama.
Mm-hmm.
I reminded them when you do group projects, AIM, for instance, spends a lot of time, how do we work as a group?
Mm-hmm.
Drama does that. Obviously, chorus and music does that. Um, so, and this is really spreading as a philosophy, but pre-teaching how to work together.
Yeah.
And as parents know, that's what the working world is about, is how you
Mm-hmm.
work as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know grades are kind of an important thing at TAM.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, like, how do you go about assessing, either formally or informally, how well a student collaborates in a group?
Well, I really look at preparation,
Mm-hmm.
which you could translate as homework,
Mm-hmm.
really. So, are you bringing to the table the ingredients for the group work to be effective?
Yeah.
Have you done the reading? Have you done the research? Did you make a plan ahead of time? And then obviously in class participation.
Right.
And then I can also, put in there, in short story right now, I've introduced concepts like point of view and tone and setting and character. So I can put those in the recipe as ingredients I'm looking for. And then kids are getting a fun application,
Mm-hmm.
which, by the way, there's no computers or phones involved in this, right?
Yeah.
So when we were working on the game in English, there was, an hour and it didn't cross anybody's mind to check their phone,
Love that.
right? It was active.
Mm-hmm.
And so you thread the learning objectives through the collaborative learning.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's key is you get the students to self-evaluate their work.
Yeah.
Because then I can say what was missing.
Right.
Right. The other thing, if we have time for this, I customize this for all my students to kind of do an inventory
Mm-hmm.
for themselves. What are the aspects of the course that come easy for you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to invent an imaginary student, an extroverted imaginary student, Tiffany.
Okay.
Tiffany's always going to have something to say. She's
Mm-hmm.
always going to have a follow-up question. She's always going to self-advocate, right? That's clearly one of Tiffany's strengths. But maybe papers are always in late, and she's not doing as well on tests because she's missing steps in the preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just making that like a drawback for this imaginary student, I really set up, your strengths are never going to abandon you, Tiffany, but together we have to collaborate on these areas that are not effective for you right now. And so when you turn a challenge or a shortcoming into a goal,
explicitly to work together on it,
explicitly into a goal, you're both equally responsible for it.
I love that.
You're both equally responsive. And I believe make formative, which is before big tests, passionate, fun, profoundly interesting.
Yeah.
And then I find the content knowledge is going to land for those authentic tests, authentic public sharings, authentic peer teaching, authentic projects and final papers.
I love it. I'm going to ask one final big picture question, and I'm going to stray from these.
Yeah.
Belonging is one of our big rocks this year, and we want to make sure that every student on campus feels a sense of belonging at TAM, that every adult on campus feels a sense of belonging. So if we are seeing these type of collaborative learning strategies across the board in our classrooms, what do you think will be the impact on the school culture at TAM and our students' sense of belonging at our school?
What that will look like, and what that often looks like, and what we need to see more of, is a deep sense of self-direction. I had a wonderful student once who was an Eagle Scout, and he went off to Yale. And this student said to me, what I loved about drama, it was truly mine. And you treated the work as if it was my work. And you cheerled me to take it as far as I could. And that happens in sports, that happens in dance class, that happens in orchestra, and it absolutely happens in science labs. But I think as teachers, we just need to, across the board, challenge ourselves to find how much real ownership
Mm-hmm.
can we pass on to students, you know?
Yep.
And that, I had, before this interview, I was thinking about, like, aside from drama teachers, when I went to Tam, who was the teacher that made a big impact on me? And there was a US history teacher, a famous one, when I went here, and there were never any, if you can believe it, there were never any handouts really. And there was no textbook. And every day he had a coat and tie on, and he did a big speech, and he did the Gettysburg Address.
Oh, wow.
Memorized.
Yeah.
And he would do like Roosevelt's speeches memorized. And he would talk us through, the civil rights movement. And then we as one of the assignments is that we would have to kind of do prepared oral presentations. It's kind of old school, but this teacher depended on us, the students, to deliver parts of the curriculum that we could. So he modeled for us just how exciting the Gettysburg Address could be, so that when it was my turn 2 months later, to finally talk about the causes of the Vietnam War, I just had a really profound model in this teacher. So we have to set kids up for success by really fun modeling, and allyship and relationships that are going to set up a climate of trust in the classroom.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.